see me.
There you go.
I'm a professional.
Welcome to the Local
724 podcast.
in 3, 2, 1.
Yo, welcome back to the Local podcast. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Ryan and his wife. They just had a baby.
Yeah.
How's all that going, man?
Yeah, we just had a baby. I think today is 3 weeks.
3 weeks already?
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks already. Just had our first baby. Man, it's fun. He's cool. It's been really great. We have almost no sleep. I'm absolutely running on fumes. It's not a myth.
Yeah.
I heard that the whole time. Like, you're not going to get any sleep.
Yeah.
I don't. But it's been really good. I'm enjoying every second of it.
That's great, man.
Yeah. This is special because I really don't leave the house very much.
Oh, there you go.
Just because we have so much to do. So
This was your plan all along.
I gotta get out of here.
You had a place to come.
Yeah.
What are some of the big things that have changed, I guess, just in your lives besides sleep and all of that?
My attitude, I think, I care about stuff less.
Yeah.
Stuff that I did care about, I don't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's cool because it shifts your mind to, really realize what matters.
Right.
And there's all the stuff that I felt like I had obligation to, and I would be anxious about getting this done and getting this done. But when you're looking at that baby, you're like, this is all that I need to worry about right now. Like, this is where all my energy needs to go into. So and everything else is secondary. So that the mindset has changed. I don't know, just like we don't have a schedule. It's just whenever he sleeps, we sleep. If that happens, and it's been good. I mean, my wife and I are working really well together. I wasn't sure about that part. I didn't know if we'd go at it, or if she'd hate me by now. But no, it's been good. I mean, we have a schedule, not a schedule, a routine sort of that we do. This is fun fact here. I've never changed a baby's diaper ever until my kid. Like, my kid was the first baby diaper.
Yeah, I've never done it either.
Really?
No.
Yeah. I didn't want to. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh, you need to practice here," because my sister has kids, and like, I think, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
But it's different when it's yours, I guess.
For sure, yeah. I mean, like, when my nieces were very young, like babies, my mom would be like, do you want to help me? Can you change a diaper? And I'm like, no, never. Like, that's never gonna happen. Same with like Nico. Whenever Jess and I started dating, like, he was only 3, and it was just like, no, this is like where I draw the line. Like, I mean, I'll play stepdad and all that, but I'm not changing diapers. It's just not gonna happen. But it's really cool that you have right now. You're how old are you? 20, 30. So you're kicking off. You got your family, and I mean, this is gonna be huge. 99% of your life for the rest of your life, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, we were already kind of boring, I think. I mean, early to mid 20s is where I was kind of spiking, and then we just kind of been on the downward trajectory from there. So,
Dude, I feel you.
Yeah, I'm not really fun anymore, which is, I guess, is good. It was kind of like one of those things where it's like our lives won't change that much.
Yeah,
and it really hasn't, as opposed to now we don't really see friends or family or anything. But
yeah,
they're free to come see us.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So you've been having a baby.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Building this place.
Yeah, so camera 1, camera 2.
Yeah, we got camera 1, camera 2 going on.
What
there.
is up?
Wild. I mean, just moving from the old space back into this space, with my video studio like right next door now, it's very easy just to like kind of back and forth and not have to, run down the street or call somebody for a code to get in the door. There's a lot of changes that I think are going to happen here. We've set up an Instagram account for the studio for people that would like to rent the studio and use all of this equipment to do their own podcasts. I think that could be, a really cool thing for people locally, because there's a lot of people in my brain that I met at the other space who were guests on the show that I'm like, man, that person should have a podcast, or that person should have a podcast. And so now I hope that this space is going to be that outlet for people to, you know, come in here and do this. I mean, not everybody can invest in this kind of equipment and stuff like that. Luckily, not only does it work for a podcast, but I can use it for video as well. Like, we can sit and do voiceovers or, you know, record music or something like that in this room as well. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. But yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Every single person in the world, especially in Greensburg, has at one point had a drink in their hand, had been talking to their buddy and said, we should start a podcast.
100%, yeah.
But then, you know, they wake up the next day and they're like, oh, we actually don't know how to start a podcast.
Right.
You have created an actual space where people can just come in and just hit record, hit play, and they can actually do a podcast. So I hope people will take advantage of that. I mean, this studio is actually built for, first off, if you're listening, we have a lot of listeners. So if you're listening to Spotify or something, you can actually stop right now and switch over to, or on Spotify, right? You can watch on Spotify now? Is that right?
They have video.
Okay, so you can actually watch us right now if you want to, because we're on camera. And but Jordan has spent so much time on this place, and it's beautiful. He did a great job. Spent a lot of time.
Thank you.
And the old space was great. This is way better in my opinion. I feel
Yeah.
more relaxed. It's more comfortable. I'm warm in here. I'm afraid I'm going to start like sweating through my shirt.
Yeah, we got a few bugs we need to work out. Air conditioning is one of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you sign up, if you want to come and check this place out and do a podcast here, if you want to become a member of the studio and do a podcast, you know, your first trip in will probably be like a training type of thing on just how to use this stuff. And it really is just super easy. I mean, the board, you just need your own micro SD card to plug into the board to record your audio. And then I'm going to suggest that you guys bring a hard drive and offload your files from the community computer here onto the hard drive, and then you can take them home and edit them or release your stuff however you want.
And you can do live here too, right?
Yes.
So
apparently we are doing live right now.
Oh, wow. Hey, what's up?
I'm not 100% sure if it's working or not. But, yeah, right now it should be streaming to YouTube and Facebook. So we'll see if that actually happened.
I'm going to set my posture better because our last episode was the
Right?
chiropractic doctor. So now,
Dude, I've done that since Dr. Tressler was in. He was our last interview at the studio at the old space over at the Cultural Trust. And ever since then, I have been like trying to sit up straighter.
hyper aware of it.
Yeah, like at my desk, I can start to feel like I'm sitting wrong and stuff like that. So I'm always like, you know, trying to straighten up and lift my chin up a little bit more and not like be, you know, slumped over.
I wish there was video of that because that guy had perfect posture.
Oh,
We were on stools. The old studio had stools, so they didn't have a back to it.
Yeah.
So I was always slumped over, and I kept looking over at him. You know, Sarah too. Sarah has great posture also, and I would always look over at them, and their back is perfectly straight, and I'm over here like hunchback, and I keep trying to push my shoulders back, and yeah, that's impressive.
I saw a product that I think you're going to be very into. Actually, I was ripping through TikTok, and I was going through TikTok, and you said that you and your wife like to crack your necks.
Yeah,
it's like this little accordion thing. It's like a donut basically. You put it over your head, and it has like it can grow. And then you take like an air bulb, like how you take your blood pressure, and you squeeze it, and it fills up, and it stretches your neck, and then it cracks.
No way.
Yeah, it's nuts. As soon as I saw it, I was like, ooh, Christmas present.
Yeah. Do you think there's a bunch of lawsuits against that product?
I don't know. Yeah, it's still running on TikTok. We'll see.
Yeah, you probably can't hear that. It cracked a little bit. I'm so addicted to it. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But
it's tough. I can't do it. I'm a puss.
Really?
Yeah. Every time it like starts to like even slightly get uncomfortable, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna break my neck.
I wouldn't do it because once you start, you don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Pringles. So anyway, yeah. So the studio, looks phenomenal. I'm super excited about it.
Thanks, dude.
There's been a lot of hype because we've been talking about it for a long time. And seriously, man, this blows me away because this was essentially like just like a throwaway room, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
You know, it just wasn't really being used.
It was full of garbage.
Yeah. And you cleaned it up, painted it, built all the furniture, ordered all the new supplies, and it looks like it's just like a professional studio now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm pretty pumped. The table, I'm very, very proud of the table.
You did the table, yeah.
I made this by hand. Yeah.
Incredible.
Very cool. I just wanted something a little bit bigger. The other table was kind of tight, and that room was kind of tight.
Yeah.
It was just like very intimate, and it's just nice to be able to stretch out a little bit more, relax, sit in some different seats with a chair back on it.
Yes.
But yeah,
Sounds good.
I'm real excited to get, some more guests in here, and even, more people to come in and try and do their shows. I think it would be so cool if there was like a local sports guy or, Sarah's going to be doing one. Hopefully she doesn't mind me talking about that. But she's like ready like yesterday. Like she's ready to roar. And I think her podcast is going to be awesome because she's into very incredible things. I don't want to say the name of her podcast yet, just because I would like her to be able to do that. But it's about some of the work that she does with families and stuff, and I think it's going to be ultra cool to have her talking to somebody that she has either worked with or is working with presently or whatever. But we're all excited for that. We have a couple other people that are interested in the studio space. So once we get everything kind of situated and figured out, those can start. But
So how are you scheduling this? Is it going to be by the half hour, by the hour? What are you thinking?
I have them in by the hour right now. And what I'm going to suggest is just maybe do the show 45 minutes tops, and then you got 15 minutes to, take your files and dump them over, or, clean up your mess in here, things like that. Me to come in and be able to check and make sure none of the shit's broken. I mean, there's things that behind the scenes stuff that we have to do. Probably a contract that just says yo, you break it, you bought it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I mean,
Seems reasonable.
yeah. So I don't really assume too many people would, come in here and be rough with things or anything like that. So it should be all right.
I think the main thing is people probably just have no idea what any of this stuff is and how to use it. And once you get past that, like you said, you have your training session that you'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Once you feel comfortable, I think everybody will just kind of jump in on it. But it's a great opportunity. I've never heard of a podcast rental space before. I'm sure that exists, but I've never heard of it. So
I'm sure it does somewhere. I actually probably should have done some research on it. But
yeah,
I really just this was something that I was talking to Adam from the Cultural Trust about. And the fact that my studio was in the Stark building here in Greensburg, and there were other businesses located on that floor, some very, kind of intimate businesses like a therapist, things like that. Everyone kind of had their reservations about me bringing a bunch of other people in there without my supervision. Bringing guests in there was never a problem. It just started to, get to that point whenever we were talking about bringing people in or giving somebody a key card or something to get in the door. And they really tried to work with me on that for months and months and months. We were going back and forth in emails, talking about moving it to a different space that had just a private entrance and stuff like that. So, we could contain everybody in one space. And ultimately it just kind of, I think that it kind of got too hairy, the whole situation.
Yeah.
And so, I had to decide really kind of whether I wanted to stay up there or, kind of go for it. And so I just decided to go for it because, I want the show to grow. I want I want the podcast community in this town to grow. I think there's a lot of really cool people here with a lot of cool stuff to say.
Yeah, and you and I have been talking a while about, pretty much moving the ball down the field when it comes to this podcast, because the original content was bringing on local businesses and things like that and talking about their business. But now we're moving more towards still having people coming on and talking about their business, maybe 5-10 minutes, but really we want to talk about like life events. We want to talk about what's going on in their lives. We want to talk about what's going on in Greensboro. We want to talk about more than just, 45 minutes of, what you'll find when you walk in someone's business. And that is a great episode, I think, but also there's more potential we could tap into that I think you and I are excited about doing.
Definitely.
And this is a great place to start with that.
Yeah.
And there's like you said, there's a lot of great people in here that can do their own podcast, that can be on our podcast, and it's exciting. So this is sort of the start of that.
Oh yeah,
where we're moving in that direction.
Yeah, it's really neat. I think it's just something that the community kind of needs. Like anybody could come in here and do a show. Like I definitely will at least require people to tell me what their show's about. And I get the whole like freedom of speech thing and all that stuff, but my name is attached to this place. So if, there's things said on a podcast in my space that, don't jive with the community or is just like a crappy thing to say, we'll have to deal with that when those things happen. But
so you wouldn't have any guest speakers from St. Vincent come in here?
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, these are the shows that I think I really enjoy. Like, on top of, having guests in and stuff like that, I think you and I doing solo shows is fun.
Definitely.
Like,
I couldn't agree more. I really like the guests coming because I always learn something and I always find it interesting. But there's a certain comfortability here that without a guest.
Yeah.
Because it's not, with a guest, you got to kind of constantly bounce it off of them and, hey, what do you think? This is much more free flowing here.
Yeah.
Just and things can be more organic and go in different directions. Yeah, I love these type of episodes, and we could just talk about anything. I like when Alicia's here. I like when your wife's here.
Right.
I like when Sarah's here. Just friends that can add to it and just be a part of it. And I feel like the audience can get in on it a little bit more too, because it just feels more comfortable, and it's like a group of friends just sitting back and talking.
Yeah, I think once we figure out these bugs, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if we are live right now on the internet.
It makes it exciting.
It does.
Maybe we are.
And I know that, like, when I first started this thing, going live to me was like a no-no. I was like, dude, no way is that going to happen. I mean, you've seen it. I bone up the intro all the time. I'll mispronounce people's names. Then I get all flustered and shit. But, like, I really think that just coming in with the music now and just talking and, people know who we are. I don't have to say our names every single time and shit like that. Like, I was listening to some of the episodes and I'm just like, dude, why have I introduced myself for 107 episodes? But yeah, it's a lot more fun, and I really hope that it's going out live.
Can I check? Like, could I be able to look on Instagram? And
you should be.
Okay.
Maybe not Instagram, Facebook, and
Facebook?
YouTube.
Okay. I'll look right now while you're talking.
But I feel like that'll give people a nice like soapbox to stand on and say what they want. Everybody will have, or at least I hope we can figure out how everybody could have access to the streaming and things like that. A lot of people might not want to, but I don't know.
I'm looking at the Facebook page. Would it be on the page?
Yeah.
On the front page? Yeah, I don't see it. It's just the last thing is the...
Yeah, so maybe it's not working. I'm not 100% sure.
It'll still
YouTube, maybe.
YouTube? Okay. Would it be on the local?
Yeah.
724?
Yep.
Podcast. What else have you been up to?
A lot of work. So just busy, with work, unpacking the the other studio and moving all that stuff in here. Now my video studio looks like a bomb went off. There's so much shit that was packed into that little room that is now in my video studio next door. And it's a lot. It was a lot to kind of come in here every day. And I'm not like the handiest person in the world. So like I had, things that I was doing, like this light, hanging this light took like a miracle of God, because the ceiling is made out of this like popcorn type material. Yeah. And the first set of anchors that I put up in the top really, they weren't strong enough. So the light was like kind of sagging. So I went to Lowe's and I'm just like, look, I need the biggest, beefiest, whatever those things are, anchors, that I can, put in the ceiling. And this dude like gave me these big things that look like, steel bars that clamp down or whatever. And so I drilled some holes and shoved them up there and got everything done. But then like, hanging these curtains and stuff, like I'd come in the next morning and like one of them would be down. And I'm like, shit. So I had to go get longer bolts and longer anchor bolts and stuff like that to get those all set up. But it's just been wild. I mean, like between this and the video business and working at home and shit, we opened our pool. You guys can come and swim.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude. You
Is it
guys are
cold?
more than welcome.
Is it freezing?
Probably. Yeah. It was all right, like over the weekend. We did, I don't know, what was it? Like 80, 90 degree day on Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
Swam for a while before we had to go to a graduation party. But it was good, man. It was so nice just to kick back and relax in the pool.
I just go right in. If it's like 70 degrees, that's fine. I just get in, I freeze for a minute, and then I'm good.
That was my strategy.
Yeah.
So far, the 3 times I've gotten in the pool so far, I'm just like, screw it, and I just go in. It's brutal to stand there and like inch down. It's like no way, And for a guy,
inch down,
I mean, good choice of words, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Other than that, you smoking any meats there, Zuck?
So here's what I want to talk about. Well, yes, but do you know that Pit Take has a new owner?
Oh, do they?
Did you see that?
No.
Pit Take Barbecue?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new owner.
Oh.
So I didn't go to Pit Take before. I went one time before.
Yeah.
It was like when it first opened, and I hadn't gone back. And then I saw that the new owner went, and I was excited because it's like, oh, hey, new barbecue in town.
Right.
So I went on day one that they were open, and I ordered all meats, like all the meats. I just said, give me everything you have.
Nice.
I just want to try. And the guy, was like, hey, make sure you tell me what you think. And I was basically like, look, I'm going to be like ultra critical because I have extremely high standards, and I do this all the time. And
yeah.
Super nice guy. I mean, incredibly nice guy. He's from West Virginia. So I went home, and my wife and I ate all these meats, and I typed up like this page after page long review.
Really?
For him.
Dude, that's awesome.
I didn't post it on Google because I didn't want other people to see it because I was trying to be nice, but I wanted to give him my honest opinion. And I also included tips in there. Like if there's something I thought was off, I included that.
Yeah.
Not in like this sucks, but more in like hey, if you try this, you might get a better bark on it, or you didn't use sugar, it wouldn't burn or something like that. So I typed up this huge review and I sent it to him. I haven't heard. This has been like a week. I haven't heard back from him. So
that's awesome. I mean, like if you guys remember, Ryan gave that away in one of his Fun Fact Fridays. This dude he's addicted to smoking meats.
Yeah, that's how I
which is kind of funny because I am as well. I have like 4 smokers at home.
Are you serious?
And a grill.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
No.
Yeah, I actually just sold one because the patio's filling up. So I have one out by the garage. I have a Weber Smoky Mountain.
I saw on Facebook you were selling one. Is that
that one's gone?
Okay,
that's the big one. That thing was massive. My buddy Evan bought that one, and he, I guess he's used it. He said that he likes it a lot.
Good.
And then I have a Char Griller Gravity 980.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is.
Like the pellet smoker.
No, it's a charcoal gravity fed.
Oh, so it
charcoal
doesn't
smoker.
use pellets. Oh,
No.
Okay. I thought all gravity used pellets. Okay.
That thing is pretty awesome. It's a good feature. The gravity fed feature is like the thing I've been waiting for in the consumer space.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I could go buy like an Assassin smoker or some shit like that for like $6,000 and get that gravity fed option. But yeah, I think I only paid like $700 for the thing.
That's actually
and
pretty good.
It holds 16 pounds of charcoal.
Wow.
And it smokes forever.
Yeah. So the smoking, since I guess Traeger and the bigger guys started automating them, that space has gotten so expensive.
Yeah.
And, just a very basic smoker now could cost you seriously up to $1,000, $2,000, which some of those are not worth that kind of money. So I'm glad to hear you got it for $600,
Yeah.
$700.
A lot of, I mean, what happens is like sometimes a lot of the smokers will come out or grills will come out and they release them at such a low cost until the barbecue community kind of proves that it's a badass piece of machinery.
Yeah.
And then the price skyrockets.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to wait too long on that. So I bought it pretty early. But it's king. It's awesome. It has some really kind of unique features, like it has an electric fan to keep things at a certain temperature. If you're gonna smoke, say you want to stay at 225, there you set your temperature control at 225, and then the fan comes on. Of course, you have to plug the fan in. I have like a little box that takes a plug, like a battery charger or whatever, or what are those things you hook up to the phone? Power bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just plug it right into there, and
Wow.
That's
cool.
run it like that. But it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's really neat.
Do you think, I mean this in all seriousness, and I need your help, and if anybody else has, can give me some help on this. So I have a giant 500-gallon, you've probably seen it in the videos, or we talked about 500-gallon propane tank smoker. And
that thing's so awesome.
It's on a boat trailer. Yeah, it's huge. And I totally mean this. I just want to take it somewhere in downtown Greensburg with one of those like tents and just set up shop, just right there.
Yeah.
But I don't know where to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you think of an area where I could just, like even a parking lot or something, I could just go and just set up and I would just smoke so much meat.
Yeah.
And basically just give it away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know. I know that Greensburg has their issues with
Yes.
food trucks and
Yes.
all of that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, like maybe you could go to like a private park or something like Twin Lakes or something and
There you go.
contact somebody there and just be like, hey, I just want to smoke some meat and whatever.
It's tough with barbecue because you get cited so much. Like they want to know like, oh well, where's your kitchen? Like what we have to inspect your kitchen, and for the real barbecue people, it's like this is this is it.
Right. Yeah.
We're outdoor. Like I don't have a kitchen, and so it's really tough to do what I want to do because you can't pass an inspection because there's nothing to inspect. You can walk around the smoker if you want to, and you can look at that, but that's about it. So yeah, it's tough. You just kind of have to be very risky and, apologize a lot. But if I could find a spot, oh my gosh, I would do it.
That would be amazing.
I would do it today.
Yeah. I mean, myself, friends of mine, we've all talked about like, oh, dude, wouldn't it be awesome to have a food truck? Wouldn't it be awesome to do this and do that? And it's a lot of work. Like we had the guys in here from Just Rolled Up.
I love Joe. Is that his name?
I can't. His name's on the tip of my tongue right now, but
I hate forgetting
him and his sister. Yeah, it'll come to me.
Yeah,
but him and his sister like kind of run the truck, and dude, it was unbelievable food. But like when they were in here talking about their schedule and stuff, like him driving down to Pittsburgh to get all the supplies and then coming back, getting it all like, prepped and all of that shit in the truck and all that, man, it's nuts. And then like Kelsey, opened that bakery down at the Trendy Bunny.
Yeah.
And they ran into like a similar problem because there needed to be an actual inspected and licensed kitchen. So they got creative and rented an apartment upstairs and turned that into a commercial kitchen, which is fucking awesome. Like to have the idea to do that, or you know,
and that's exactly so. Let's say I actually did this. What I would do is I would list my kitchen as like I would ask Alicia and be like, hey, could I just write your address down on this form?
Yeah.
And then they could, if they want to come inspect my kitchen, they can just look at your apartment. You know,
Right, yeah.
It's all nonsense. Like all they want to do is know how they can fine you and how you can pay.
Yeah.
So I just want to find someone to be like, hey, can I just list your kitchen as my kitchen, and then I'll pay any fines that come along. But like, I'm not actually ever going to use the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's really tough. I wish this was more of a food truck town. And
I do, man.
a lot of those food trucks have run into walls when it comes to opening and parking. And I don't know. Has that changed? It was certainly bad like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was definitely bad 10 years ago. I think that the city council has made strides. I watched over pandemic. I was that fucking bored that I was watching city council meetings live on Facebook.
Oh, Jordan.
And I was just like, and the one that I happened to tap into first was the food truck thing, where they were voting on whether to allow food trucks in the city limits and things like that. And I think that they always kind of were okay with allowing them within the city limits. They just had to be a certain amount of distance away from a brick and mortar restaurant or bar. And I think that my whole take on that was that I don't think that a food truck is going to disrupt any restaurant business in this town. And the main thing was the example that I used or commented on or something was that Invisible Man had food trucks coming and parking out on Pennsylvania Avenue, and the restaurant across the street that's like super fancy was like 111.
The venue.
The venue. That was the big thing. The owner of the venue, apparently, through the grapevine, was pretty not happy with the fact that there was another place to get food near his restaurant. But the thing is whenever I want to eat a really good steak or lobster, I'm going to go to the venue.
Right. You're not going to be like, oh, you know what? I'll just get these tacos.
Yeah. I'm not going to like get all dressed up and just be like, you know what? Fuck it. There's hot dogs down here. Like, let's do hot dogs instead of the lobster tail that I promised you. Like, I mean, and that shit wouldn't fly with my wife either.
That argument is nonsense.
Right.
Because there's nothing better for a business than competition.
Absolutely.
You then step up your game, be better. And that's the problem is all these businesses and restaurant stuff that have been here for so long, if they don't continue to adapt and get better, they'll just become stagnant, and then they just have the same type of clientele coming in every time. When you have these food trucks that are new and exciting, Just Rolled Up is a great example. I don't know where to go for like quick sushi at all. You know, I could order from Szechuan Garden or one of those places, and that's fine. But I would love just a truck I could just go downtown, order sushi from. It's a different thing, and it doesn't force those guys to have to spend all this money opening a place, and it's really great for the community. Yeah, and it shouldn't affect other local businesses. And if it does affect your local business, the problem is not outside. The problem is internal. We have to step up. We have to do better. We have to update our menu. So I hate that argument. I don't agree with it. And there should be more and more and more and more competition in here. And that's just how you get better. And then if you suck, then you're out of business. And that's your fault. Yeah. And I'm for that.
Dude, like, one of my favorite parts of going to, like, D.C. or New York is just all the different options that you have. Like when you're walking through the National Mall in Washington, D.C., you know, you're making the trek from, you know, the, what is it, the White House, or not the White House, but the Lincoln Monument, you know, and you see all those monuments and buildings and all that stuff. They have food trucks at every surrounding you. On the side streets, on the middle streets, all of that stuff. there's food trucks everywhere, and there's like ice cream, there's sushi, there's barbecue, there's sandwiches. Yeah. And it's just amazing, like, for the people that work down there to just like run across the street and be like, oh, I can get a Cuban sandwich today instead of the same fucking burger that I eat every single day. You know, it's really neat.
Yeah, I would love that type of community here. So, and I don't, you know, personally, I don't even necessarily want to open a food truck. I would just want to myself open on like Saturdays and just do a smoking thing on Saturdays. Not have anybody from the government / local police bother me.
Yeah,
just let me do my thing.
Dude.
But that seems impossible.
Yeah, this reminds me so much of. Have you seen the show Super Pumped?
Super Pumped? No.
It's about Uber. It's about the beginnings of Uber.
Oh, I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. What's that dude? Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Dude, he is an amazing actor in this show. I just started watching it yesterday.
It's a show. I thought it was a movie. It's a show.